Molly Benson of Villanova in 2. Applejean Gwynn of Sandpipers in 4. Sophia George of Metro Aquatic Club of Miami in 5. And then Avery Kudlak of Laurel East Hartford YMCA in lane number 6. 29.71. Benson out in the lead after 50 meters. Sophia George in lane 5 continues to have the lead and has built upon it. Now up to almost a full second over Applejean Gwynn, who's in lane 4. Into the final touch we go here in heat number 1, and that's our top time, a 2:06.54. Second place, 2:08.06 from Applejean Gwynn, and then a 2:09.07 from Molly Benson, rounding us out in third. Heat 2. Heat number 2 in the water, women's 200 freestyle. Maggie Casey of Florida Atlantic in 0. Maeve Eckerman of Sarasota Sharks in 1. Beatriz Padron of Costa Rica in 2. Lucera Mejia Arce of Monteverde Aquatic Club in 3. Maddie Swatney of South Florida Aquatic Club in 4. Kristen Romano of Puerto Rico in 5. Rebecca Sutton of Wales in 6. Abigail Zaborin of Spartan Aquatic Club in 7. Aspen Gersper out of St. Andrews Aquatics in lane 8. And Ivana Izquierdo of Puerto Rico in lane number 9. 28.81. Aspen Gersper, the 17-year-old from St. Andrews Aquatics, leading the way in lane 8. Seated with a yards, 148.27. 59.84, the lead split, first sub 1 minute split. 1 to below 15 for Rebecca Sutton, about 0.3 of a second out of the lead of Gersper. Here's our final touch in heat number 2. The women's 200 free, 2:02.93. Our new top time of the morning so far. It belongs to Aspen Gersper. Second is a 2:03.81. Rebecca Sutton, the owner of that time. Those are your top 2 ladies through 2 heats. 4 heats still to go. Heat 3.
Take your marks.
Abby Dunford, Sarasota Sharks is in 0. Jillian Crooks of the Tack Titans in lane 1. Brianna Dyerling of Sarasota Sharks in lane 2. Anna Louisa Dyson is in 3. Madeline Hebert of Team Rebel Aquatics in 4. Polina Nevmovenko of Auburn University in 5. Maxine Clark, the 14-year-old from Canada, in lane 6. Bailey O'Regan of the Sarasota Sharks is in 7. Caroline Pennington of the University of Florida in lane 8. And Denmark's Nia Thompson in lane number 9. Filling out this full heat number 3, 28:34. Darlene of the Sarasota Sharks in lane number 2. The 16-year-old seated with a 2:03.54, out in a 28:34. Her and Jillian Crooks battling back and forth. Crooks taking the lead at the 100-meter mark. 59.81 is the split for Crooks. And a 59.97. 2 more sub 1 minute front 100 splits here in heat number 3. Last heat before we get to the circle seeds. Final turn, new leader. It's Nevmovenko of Auburn University. 31.3 on that third 50. The only sub 32 split in the field. And she was very low, 31. She was 29.1, 31.3, 31.3. We'll see what she has in store for this final 50 meters. Crooks and Darling not out of it by any stretch, but they're going to have to make their move now if they want to win heat number 3. Women's 200 freestyle. Nevmovenko looks like she will be the one to hang on and post it to 2:03.53. Second fastest so far this morning. Belongs in lane number 5. Second place at 2:04.61 for Brianna Dyerling. And then Maxine Clark jumping into third at a 2:05.06. Heat 4.
Take your marks.
About another full heat of 200 freestylers here in heat number 4. Rebecca Diaconescu of Team Rebel in 0. Elan Daly, of Canada in 1. Meddy Harris of Wales in 2. Katie Grimes, Sandpipers of Nevada in 3. Siobhan Haughey of Hong Kong in 4. Bella Sims of the Sandpipers in 5. Ella Jansen of Canada in lane 6. Simone Manuel of Sun Devil Swimming is in lane 7. Cameron Cannings out of Canada in lane 8. And then Leah Gingrich of Columbus Aquatic Club rounding us out in lane number 9. Haughey in the lead, 27.54 for her on the first 50. 27.69 for Ella Jansen. The Canadian 17-year-old in lane number 6. Looks like she has taken the lead as we hit the halfway point here First of our circle seated heats, 57.50. Sims now in third at a 58.4. And Elin Daly of Canada in lane number 1 in fourth, 58.58. Back half 200 freestyle. Top time so far, 2:02.93. How many sub 2-minute times will we see this morning? A lot of swimmers looking to punch their ticket to Olympic trials in Indianapolis next June. That's going to require a 2:00.89. Jansen, however, the Canadian in lane 6, not heading to Olympic trials here in the States, but heading toward a heat win if she can hold off Siobhan Hahi of Hong Kong. 0.4 of a second separating those two. All you're looking to do is punch a ticket right now into the A final this evening. And Ella Jansen looks like she's going to post our top time at a 1:59.27. Hahi in second. Of course, unofficially, Hahi 1:59.70. There's Bella Sims' time, 1:59.95, and then a 2:00.44 for Katie Grimes. Puts her in fourth. Those four ladies, your top 4 times so far this morning. 2 heats still to go in the women's 200 freestyle. Heat 5.
Take your marks.
Second to last heat, women's 200 freestyle. Kennedy Dobson, Eastern Express Swim Team out of New Jersey in lane 0. Ana Carolina Vieira of Brazil in 1. Lily Nesty of Gator Swim Club in 2. Maria Sophie Harvey out of Canada in 3. Summer McIntosh of Sarasota Sharks in lane 4. Leah Smith of Longhorn Aquatics in 5. Reagan Smith of Sun Devil Swimming in 6. Michaela Mattis of Sarasota Sharks in 7. Giovanna Guilherme Medeiros of RFK Swim Team in 8. And Megan Willard of Canada in lane 9. A tie at the 50. McIntosh and Reagan Smith both out in the 27.13. Leah Smith out in the 27.66. Of course, Summer McIntosh, owner of the world junior record in this event, 1:54.79 that time. And she's out in the lead, 56.38 after her 100 meters. Reagan Smith in second. Leah Smith in third. Top time so far belongs to Canada's Ella Jansen. It's a 1:59.27. 3 ladies under 2 minutes so far. And it could take a sub 2-minute performance just to make it back into that A final. Maybe even faster than that. McIntosh having a swim right now. 29.2 on that third 50. 1:25.62. Look at the lead Summer McIntosh has built over Leah Smith, one of the greatest freestylers. Everybody looking up at Summer McIntosh, who's flying in this prelims heat, and she's going to post a 1:55.36. That'll be a time to watch this evening. That is our best time by nearly 4 seconds. Leah Smith, your second seed overall, second in the heat, 1:58.74, and then Reagan Smith's 1:59.35, good for third in the heat, fourth overall, with 1 heat remaining. So that's 6 swims now under 2 minutes in the women's 200 freestyle. Heat 6. Sixth and final heat, women's 200 freestyle. Now in the water, Laura Littlejohn of New Zealand in 0. Mackie Hodges of the Sandpipers of Nevada in 1. University of Florida's Isabel Ivy in 2. Tennessee Aquatics, Gabby Duluth, also of the New York Aquatic Club in 3. Katie Ledecky, Gator Swim Club in lane 4. Claire Weinstein of Sandpipers of Nevada in lane 5. Katrine Savard of Canada in 6. Addison Sawicki of Sarasota Sharks in 7. Maria Jose Matacoco of Mexico in lane 8. Ledecky's out fast, 27.69 leading the way. Isabel Ivy in second, 27.93. Will Ledecky respond to McIntosh's 155.04 throwdown in that fifth heat? Ledecky at 154.40. Ledecky, final turn, 29.7 on that third 50, even splitting the middle two 50s. Weinstein making a charge there in lane number 5, moving into second after being fourth at the 50, 129.46. Her split at the 150. Well, what's our leaderboard going to look like going into tonight's finals? Ledecky will post a 157.13, good for second overall. A 159.96 from Claire Weinstein, second in the heat. And that means 8 sub-2-minute performances will be in that A final this evening. It took a 159.96. Claire Weinstein going to be our 8th seed heading into the night's A finals. There they are: McIntosh, Ledecky, Smith, Jansen, Reagan Smith, Haughey, Sims, and Weinstein, all into your A final. B finalists now on the boards: Grimes, Savard, Harris, Ivy, Sawicki, Duluth, Guilherme Medeiros, and Geisbert, Manuel, Daly, Matacoco, Hodges, Nev Movenko, Thompson, Cannings, and Sutton rounding out your C final. Current time, ladies, 9:18. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. A great first event to kick off day number 3 here at the 2023 TYR Pro Swim Series in Fort Lauderdale. Over to the men's side. For event number 14, the men's 200 freestyle. We will have 7 heats this morning. Heat 1.
Take your marks.
Men's Heat 1, Ian Tansel of Army West Point in 0. Tanner Falls of Army West Point in 1. Shane Casas of Longhorn Aquatics in lane 2. Caleb Romero Serrano of Richfield Aquatic Club, the 15-year-old, in lane 3. Hossein Farag of Canada in 4. Granger Barty of Swim Mac in 5. Sean Dwyer, Army West Point, in 7. And Vili Sivet of CSUV in lane 8. After 50 meters, it was Casas who seated with a yards 130.59. Out in a 24.66, leading the way. He's going to continue leading the way at the 100, 52.36. To break into the top 10 in the world so far, you need to be about a 148.51. Top time in the world, a 146.52. Thomas Cechon of Italy, the owner of that mark. Casas 120.73, looking like he's going to be potentially in that 148 range. And we'll post the early top time. Shane Casas going to post a 1:49.08. That'll be our early top time. We'll see how that shakes out. Second place, Vili Sivic, 1:51.92. And then Tanner Falls of Army West Point, 1:52.31, finishes in third. Heat 2.
Take your marks.
Wes Tate of Army West Point in lane 0 here in heat number 2 of the men's 200 freestyle. Liam White of Wales in 1. Aiden Norman out of Canada in 2. George Glover is in lane 3. Charlie Hinckley of Villanova in lane 4. Coral Springs Saud Alsh Amruk in lane 5. Leo Kurux of Tsunami Swim Team of KC in 6. Xavier Sahovic of Bowl School Sharks in 7. Alberto Vega rounding us out in lane 8 for Costa Rica. He wins, going to be Wes Tate of Army West Point with a 1:52.35 all the way in lane number 0. It's good for our 4th fastest time of the morning so far through 2 heats in the men's 200. Take a quick moment to make a quick swap. And while we do that, a reminder that tonight after finals, you'll want to stop by the tier booth to meet 2-time Olympic gold medalist Bobby Fink. He'll be there signing autographs. The Pro Swim Series event merchandise and tiers exclusive line of innovative swimwear will be available for purchase as well. And don't forget, you can buy any swimsuit and get a free pair of Black Ops goggles. Tier, always in front. Costa still with that top time, 1:49.08. 2 heats down, 5 heats to go in the men's 200 freestyle. Will anyone match or pass Casas? Only time will tell. Why don't you take the chance to join the Supporters Club? A $50 contribution is all it takes to join the USA Swimming Supporters Club and help support the sport of swimming at all levels. Explore the exclusive benefits and join the club at usaswimming.org/supportersclub. And while you got your phone out, take a look at USA Swimming Foundation. By providing funding to teams, athletes, and programs around the country, the USA Swimming Foundation works to save lives, build champions, and impact communities in order to create a legacy for future generations of swimmers. Join us today by making a gift to the USA Swimming Foundation at usaswimming.org/donate. All right, a brief pause is all wrapped up, so we're on to heat number 3, the men's 200 free.
Take your marks.
Got to adjust as things change, and that's what this heat of gentlemen have done. Felipe Bufico, Sarasota Sharks in 0. Bryce Barriald of Army West Point in 1. Xander Skinner, Sun Devil Swimming in 2. Timo Paisley out of Florida Atlantic in lane 3. CSUV's Arthur Schneider in lane 4. Isaac Weichel of Iowa Flyers in 5. Amadeus Knops of Sarasota Sharks in 6. Matthias Santiso of Argentina in 7. Seth Tolentino of Bowl School Sharks in 8, and Antoine Suave of Canada in lane number 9. It was a 25.93 for Isaac Weigel that led at the 50-meter mark. The Iowa Flyers Swim Club 19-year-old still has the lead at the 100-meter mark. He's a 54.75 with a quarter-second lead over Arthur Schneider in lane 4. Final 15 meters here in heat number 3, men's 200 free. And he led for 3 out of the 4 touches. And Amadeus Knops is going to touch first at 153.83 as he jumps from 4th to 1st over the back half 100. 153.98 for Suave in lane number 9, and then Arthur Schneider with a 154.37 touches in 3rd. Heat 4.
Take your marks.
Alex Ayers of Swim Mac in 0. Steve Richardson of Gator Swim Club in 1. Elliot Weisel of Rocket Swimming in 2. Caden Lancaster of the Bowl School Sharks in 3. Grant Sanders of Tampa Bay Aquatics in 5. Gabriel Araya of GTSA in 6. Norman Klotz of Swim Mac in 7. And Victor Dagana of Canada in lane 8. It's a 26:06 for Caden Lancaster leading the way. Our final heat before we get to the circle seated heats. The Bowl School Sharks 18-year-old in lane 3. Lancaster with just shy of a half-second lead over Weisel in the lane right beside him. But it looks like he's accelerated and then some compared to the rest of the pack as he splits a 28.8. A 28.5 from Alex Ayers, the fastest split in the field. But Ayers has got some ground to make up as he was in 7th at that turn. We'll see if that fast split pays off on the back half here. Heat number 4, the men's 200-meter freestyle. Lancaster running away with it. Let's see what he posts. Touching it at 1:51.68. Good for our second fastest time of the morning so far. Eclipsing his seed time by just over a tenth of a second. Second is a 1:53.35 from Norman Klotz. Puts him in the top 8 so far. 3 heats still to go in the men's 200 freestyle. Casas' 1:49.08 sits atop the leaderboard as we head into the circle seated races. Heat 5.
Take your marks.
Christoph Masuzuki of Team Rebel in 0. Drew Kibler of Carmel Swim Club is in lane 2. Pinnacle Racing's Jorge Iga in 3. Matthew Richards of Wales in lane 4. Luis Altamir of Brazil in 5. Connor Lamastra of Dynamo in 7. Josh Williams of Wales in 8. And Jose Cano Figueroa of Bulldog Swimming in lane 9. It's Altamir of Brazil in lane 5 who has the lead, 24.43 to Richards 24.79. Altamir seated with a 146.80 to Richards 145.77. The Great Britain Olympian in lane 4. The Brazilian national team member in lane 5. Altamir continues to lead 51.71. Richards a 52.41. Jorge Iga a 52.89 in lane 3, sitting in 3rd. And then Drew Kibler of Carmel Swim Club in lane 2 is in 4th. Final turn coming up here in heat number 5 of the men's 200 freestyle. Casas with the top time, 1:49.08. That's in jeopardy as Altamir flips it at 1:19.51, splitting a 27.8 on that third 50. Top time in the world is Thomas Chechon's 1:46.52. Swam at the Luxembourg European meet back at the end of January. Here comes Jorge Iga making a charge down the stretch, but it looks like your heat win and new top time 1:47.65 is going to belong to Luis Altamir. And that'll crack into the top 10 in the world so far. That makes him 7th fastest man in the world in 2023. And it makes him the fastest man this morning. Richards 1:48.57 puts him in 2nd overall, and Jorge Iga's 1:49.03 puts him in 3rd overall. Casas now sitting in 4th. Heat 6.
Take your marks.
Second to last heat, men's 200 freestyle. Tyler Melbourne Smith of Wales in 0. Sun Devil Swimming's Chase Kalish in lane 1. Swim Houston's Brett Penfold in 2. Ryan Held of New York Athletic Club in lane 3. Brazil's Fernando Scheffer in 4 and Guilherme Costa in 5. Zane Grothy of Boulder City Henderson Swim Club in 6. Jay Litherland of Sun Devil Swimming in 7. João de Grutola Campos in lane 8 and Javier Acevedo of Canada in lane 9. It's the Brazilian Scheffer in lane 4 who has the lead after 50 meters, 25:37. Ryan Held in second. The New York Athletic Club 27-year-old was out in a 25:57, and Guilherme Costa, who's now in the lead, out in a 25:7, back at a 27:6 for a 53:34 on the way out. Passes his country-mate Scheffer, who's a 53:50 on the front 100. Zane Grothy moving up into third, 54:16 for him on the front 100. Final turn down, 121.68 the split, putting him behind the pace of Luis Altamira, another Brazilian who sits atop our leaderboard this morning. Costa and Scheffer, both the Brazilians in the middle of the pool, distancing themselves but racing each other as we hit the final 15 meters of heat number 6. 147.65, Altamira's top time will remain the top time. 149.23 and a 149.55. Costa and Scheffer going 1-2. Jay Litherland jumping up into third with a 151.40. Puts him right on the bubble, however, at 8th overall, as Costa and Scheffer are in 5th and 7th right now, as Costa is actually tied for 5th with Drew Kibler. We'll keep an eye on that with one heat still to go in the men's 200 freestyle. Heat 7.
Take your marks.
Seventh, the final heat, men's 200 freestyle. Mark Zoranek of Gator Swim Club in 0. Kai Winkler in lane 1 for Eagle Aquatics. Luke Turley of Great Britain in 2. Ruslan Gassiev of Ohio State University in 3. Kieran Smith, Richfield Aquatic Club in 4. Trenton Julian in lane 5 for Mission Viejo. Canada's Finlay Knox in 6. Nicholas Albiero of Cardinal Aquatics in 7. Daniel Namer out of Arizona in 8. And Ilya Karun of Sandpipers in lane 9. Ruslan Gassiev out early from The Ohio State University in lane 3. 25.50 for Finlay Knox in lane 6. But look at the lead right out the gate for Gassiev, out at a 52.04. Kieran Smith about a second behind, sitting in second. Finlay Knox in third. And Nicholas Albiero of Cardinal Aquatics currently sitting in 4th over in lane number 7. Here comes the final turn, and we're going to see how this shakes up. 7 men have been under 150 so far today, so it's going to take better than a 150 to make the A final. It may take a 149 low or faster. We'll keep an eye on it. Gassiev still in the lead. The lead is shrinking, however, as Smith has closed within a second and continues closing. Final 15 meters here in our final heat of the men's 200 freestyle. Will Gassiev lead wire to wire? Or will Smith get his hand on the wall? It'll be Kosiev with a 148.22, 148.38 for Kieran Smith. That'll secure them second and fourth overall heading into tonight's A final. 149.03 for Trenton Julian, and that puts him in fifth overall. Another tie, and you're going to see why that makes things a little bit interesting. There's your top 8: Altamir, Kosiev, Smith, Richards, Iga, Julian, Casas, and then Drew Kibler. You see that question mark? That means there's a tie. Kibler is tied with Guilherme Costa. We'll have to figure that out, and we will. Scheffer, Winkler, Knox, Albiero, Namer, Litherland, and Lancaster in that B final. And then your C finalists now on the board: Grothy, Sivek, Turley, Falls, Tate, Norman, Kalish, and Acevedo. All making it into the C final. Karun and Klontz, your first and second reserves in the men's 200 freestyle. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for all of our 200 freestylers this morning? Gentlemen, current time 9:43. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. Let's take this action to the other end of the pool. It's time for some 50s, and a lot of them. The 50 breaststroke is up next. Event 15, women's 50 breaststroke. We're going to have 4 heats of the women's 50 breast here in just a moment. Time for Heat 1 of the women's 50 breaststroke. The splash and dash of the breaststroke variety underway here. Heat number 1 of 4 in the women's 50 breaststroke. Who's getting their hand on the wall first? It's going to be Army West Point's Aurelie McGaultz with a 33.09, our early top time. 3 heats still to go. Heat 2. Heat win is Annie Laser's 31.9. Top time of the morning so far. 2 heats to go. Laser hand on the wall first. 31.98 for Sophie Angus, the Canadian, finishing in second, and then 32.41 for Ana Carolina Vieira of Brazil in third. Those are your top 3 through 2 heats. We're halfway already through the women's 50 breaststroke. Heat 3. American record holder Lily King may have a slight edge. That is the case. 30.97 for King. The top time of the morning so far belongs in lane 6. 31.09. Rachel Bernhardt finishes in second in the heat and is currently sitting in second overall. And Kara Hanlon in this very fast heat 3. Third in the heat, but also third overall with one heat still to go. Heat 4. And just like that, the event is on its last heat. Heat number 4, women's 50 breaststroke. Imogen Clark of Great Britain looks like she's got a good battle going on with Tara Vaughn of the University of Miami Hurricanes. But it looks like Clark will run away with the heat. What's the time going to be? 30.47 for Clark. That's going to be our top time of the morning, just eclipsing Lily King by half a second, actually. Vaughn in second with a 31.59. That'll have her in fifth heading into the A final. 31.67 for Siobhan Haughey. Third in the heat, sixth overall, prime for the A final. There they are, your A finalists on the board. Clark, King, Bernhardt, Hanlon, Vaughn, Haughey, Ceballos, and Laser sliding in there with that 31.9 from heat 2. B final rather, Angus, Wong, Santos, Vieira, Casa, Rainey, Larson, and Clamforth in your B final. And then let's take a look at the C finalist. Zudo, McCall, Makarova, Kleinsworth, Anderson, Bartlett, Ortega-Gill, and Renera. 33.87 for that C final. First and second alternates now on the board. Ladies, current time 9:50. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. And that officially wraps up the women's 50 breaststroke. Time for the men's 50 breaststroke, which is event number 16. A few more heats, 7 of them to be precise. Heat 1. Tom Higdon, 28.79, winning heat number 1 for Shasta YMCA Sharks. Heat 2. The Heat win's going to be Dylan Smiley with a 28.77. Miami Country Day Aquatics posing our top time so far by 1/100th over Cohen Rankin of Army West Point over in lane 2. Heat 3. $29.67. Calvin Gronwald with the Heat win. Heat 4. $29.23 for Jake Ryan, winning heat number 4 out of lane 6 for Pinnacle Racing. $29.40, Elsa Stewart in second, and a $29.53 for Liam Hury, finishing in third. Top time still remains Smiley's 28.77 from heat number 2. Heat 5. Michael Andrews seated with the 50 time. Middle lane seated with the 100 time. Andrews going to touch with the heat win and top times. 26.84. Fastest of the morning. Cody Miller's 27.85 second. 26.84 actually the fastest 50 breaststroke in the world so far, eclipsing Adam Peaty's 27.08. We'll keep an eye on where that stacks up as the morning goes along. Heat 6. Nick Finker, 100 breaststroke champ in lane number 1. Slight edge maybe on lane 8. No, it's Tommy Copes, 27.72, that takes the heat win. Fink by 1/100th behind, 27.73, but the two will be 2-3 overall heading into the final heat of the men's 50 breaststroke. Heat 7. Final heat, men's 50 breaststroke, 26.84. Top time so far this morning. More on that time to come in just a moment. But let's wrap up our 7th and final heat with a 28.10. Julio Orrego with the heat win and be sitting pretty 5th overall heading into that A final this evening. 28.21 for Lewis Frazier. He'll be 7th overall in our A final this evening. Take a look at the board. There are your top 8. Michael Andrews, 26.84, actually now officially a Pro Swim Series record in the 50 breaststroke. Congratulations to him. Joining him this evening, Tommy Cope, Fink, Miller, Orrego, Swanson, Frazier, and Butler, all in your A final. B finalists now on the board: Simpson, Newman, Ang, McDaniel, Smiley, Rankin, Higdon, and Tyvasalo. That's your B final. C finalists up now: Chavez Gonzalez, Pilger, Ryan, Cantu, Miranda, Heck, Cruz, Stewart, and McKee round out your C final. First and second alternates on the scoreboard. Gentlemen, current time is 10 o'clock on the dot. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. Well, if some sprinting is good, more sprinting is better, and that's exactly what we've got as we head back to the scoreboard end of the pool once again for event 17. The women's 50-meter butterfly will have 7 heats this morning. Heat 1. He won win at 29.09 coming out of lane 7, Christy Crossley of Ocean County YMCA. Heat 2. He win at 28:20 for Megan Cole. Top time of the morning so far. Heat 3. $27.57 for Caroline Larson of the 5 sets in lane 2, winning the heat and posting the top time through 3 heats. Heat 4. Heat 4 win is a 28:08 Aspen Gersper of St. Andrews Aquatics in lane number 6, winning heat number 4. Heat 5. Abby Weitzel's 26:37, our new top time of the morning so far, and top time here in heat number 5. 27:23 for Amelie Mikkelsen, and a 27:31 for Erica Brown puts them 1, 2, 3 atop our leaderboard with 2 heats still to go in the women's 50 butterfly. Heat 6. Second to last heat, women's 50 meters butterfly underway. Weitzel with that 26:37. Very, very quick top time, about a second ahead of anybody else. Denmark's Emily Beckman with a 26:58 comes within shouting distance of Weitzel's. First in heat number 6, second overall. Natalie Hines second in the heat and third overall with a 27:04. And Athena Meneses-Kovacs with a 27:64, right on the bubble for that A final later this evening. Heat 7. Seventh and final heat. Women's 50-meter butterfly underway. Weitzel's 26:37 still holding on to that top spot. Will it remain in the top spot? Katrine Savard, the Canadian, in lane 5. Looks like she's got an edge. Lily Line in lane 0 right there. But as we touch the wall, it will be Savard's 26:71. Good for third overall. Winning heat number 7, 27:33. Lily Line all the way in lane 0. Finds her way into the A final, finishing in 7th. Then Kylie Wilhelm, 27:55, creates an interesting dynamic as she will be tied for 8th. Let's take a look at the A final first. Weitzel, Beckman, Savard, Hines, Mickelson, Brown, Lyon, all in for sure. And then Jones and Wilhelm tied for 8th, so we'll sort that out. In the B final, Larson, Manuel, Cannings, Meneses-Kovacs, Gingrich, Ceballos, and Becerra, Quintana, all in your B final. C final, Owen, Pacheco, Kuna, Gersper, Cole, Padron, Balzano, Sawicki, and Crooks into the C final for the women's 50 meters butterfly. First and second alternate on the board. Current time, 10:10. Ladies, you have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. Women's 50 butterfly almost all wrapped up. We'll have to figure out who's in that A final potentially a little bit later. But first, we'll go to event 18, the men's 50-meter butterfly. We'll have 10 heats this morning. Heat 1. $24.99. Jerome Hydrich winning heat number 1 for Mission Viejo in lane 7. Second, Ben Vorthman, 25.39, and then Matthew Healy, 26.16, finishes in third. Heat 2. Army West Point's Jack Mowry with the heat win at 26.15. Lucas Spillers with a 26-18 ties with Kyle Hertwig for second place. Heat 3. Shane Casas with a 23.61. Only 0.5 of a second off of that Pro Series record, touching the wall first and posting our top time by north of a second. 25.59. John Weigel finishes in second in the heat number 3. Heat 4. Jacob Rubin winning heat number 4, 25-32 for the Episcopal Amberjacks. 23-year-old in lane 8. Heat 5. We need coaching representatives from Brazil and Carmel Swim Club. Brazil and Carmel Swim Club to the resolutions desk, please. Heat 5 wins going in lane 6, 24.96. Only our third sub-25 performance this morning, and it belongs to Dylan Smiley. Miami Country Day Aquatics 18-year-old sitting in second overall as we hit the halfway point of the men's 50 butterfly. Heat 6. Hunter Armstrong, 24.43. Is going to win heat number 6, posting our second fastest time of the morning. The backstroke world record holder out touching Nicholas Albiero, the 200 butterflyer, 24.97 for Albiero. Diego Balbi with a 25.11 finishes in third. Heat 7. Ilya Karun's the second swimmer to get under the 24 mark. 23.96 for him. Touching first, second overall behind only Shane Casas. 24.54 for George Ratzia. He's sitting in fourth overall. And then Ryan Held's 24.68 has him in fifth overall. As we head into our circle seated heats in the men's 50 butterfly. Heat 8. So can anyone pass Shane Casas' 23.61? We will see. Right now, Diogo Matos Ribeiro of Portugal in lane 4 has got the edge in this heat, and he's going to go at 23.80. Good for second overall. And the heat win here in heat number 8. 23.98 for Zach Harding, putting him in fourth overall. 2 heats still to go. 4 men under 24. Is that what it's going to take to make the A? Heat 9. Trenton Julian, the Mission Viejo Nata Tour 200 butterfly superstar in lane number 4. Miguel Duarte Nascimento in lane 3. But it's Dylan Carter, lane number 9, 23.25 for Carter. And that is our new top time of the morning. And he is only about a tenth of a second off of that Pro Swim Series record. Trenton Julian's 24.39, second in the heat, 7th overall with 1 heat remaining. In the men's 50-meter butterfly. Heat 10. Michael Andrew already with 1 Pro Swim Series records. We have a few people that have been flirting around this Pro Swim record. Matt Target owns it back from 2012, one of our older records. It's a 23.11. There's no way Michael Andrew goes 2 for 2, is there? 23.25. We got a tie atop the leaderboard between Michael Andrew and Dylan Carter, setting up quite the showdown this evening. Second at 24.25, Lewis Fraser of Wales finishes second. 24.27, Marius Kusch finishes in third. few administrative things to figure out before we give you those official results. But unofficially, 6 men under 24. All sorts of guys standing on deck waiting to see who made it back into the A final. And what a stacked A final it will be. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there is a disqualification to report in event 18, heat 10, lane 6, resubmerging during the swim prior to the finish. So that will actually make our results official now. And there you go. There's your A final. Carter and Andrew tied. Casas, Matos, Rivera, Caroon, Harding, Carswell, and Fraser all into that A final. Look at that, 24-2 to earn a final second swim. Kush, Julian, Armstrong, Mona, Duarte, Pranzu, Helm, and Ingram all into the B final. And then C finals rest. Masalam, excuse me, Egot, Knox, Gonzalez, Hussein, Smiley, and Marshall into your C final. B final, excuse me, first and second alternate rather, are now on the scoreboard. Gentlemen, current time 10:24. 10:24. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. Now for something a little bit different than the sprints, this is the 200 backstroke, event number 19, the women's 200 backstroke. 4 heats this morning. Heat 1. Need a coaching representative from Lifetime North Carolina, Sun Devil Swimming, Ridgefield Aquatic Club, and Portugal, all to report to the resolution desk. I'll read it again. Lifetime North Carolina, Sun Devil Swimming, Ridgefield Aquatic Club, and Portugal. Please send a representative over to the resolutions desk as soon as possible. Thank you. Heat number 1 of the women's 200 backstroke. Kennedy Dobson, Eastern Express Swim Team in 2. Britta Wolf swimming in lane 3 from North Carolina. Lane Peterson of Army West Point in 4. Riley Trout of Florida Atlantic Aquatics in 5. And Elizabeth Erlendsdottir of Bowles School Sharks in lane 6. He1 win is going to be Kennedy Thompson's 2:18.28. The Eastern Express Swim Team 16-year-old. 2:19.78 for Lane Peterson in lane 4 for Army West Point. At 2:22.73 for Ellen's daughter, finishing in 3rd. Heat 2. Heat number 2, women's 200 backstrokes. Scarlett Major of Wales in lane 2. Argentina's Milena Santillan in lane 3. Olivia Smoliga of Sun Devil Swimming in 4. Kylie Wilhelm, Lifetime North Carolina in 5. Athena Meneses Kovacs of Team Charlotte Swimming in 6. Hayden Penny, Y Spart Aquatics in 7. Chloe Islenta of Sun Devil Swimming in 8. And Jillian Crooks of the Tag Titans in lane 9. Meneses Kovacs leads with a 31.14 on the first 50 here in heat number 2 of the women's 200-meter backstroke. It's been an eventful morning. We've had some threats to even World Junior records. We had a TYR Pro record. What more is in store? Meneses Kovacs, 105.28, continues to lead. Kovacs seated with a 2:14.48. .213.77, the listed best time for Athena Kovacs. Continuing to lead right now by about 0.8 of a second over Smoliga in lane 4. A final is the goal. Meneses Kovacs just behind her personal best pace right now as Smoliga pulls even with her, and we head to the final touch. Kovacs will win the heat with a 2:15.17. Smoliga at a 2:15.69. Those are your 2 top times so far this morning. 2:18.00 from Chloe Islenta, actually 3rd fastest this morning as well. Heat 3. Second to last heat, women's 200 backstroke. Lily Nesty of Gator Swim Club starts us off at lane 1. Erica Peleas of Eagle Aquatics in 3. Andrea Barrino of Argentina in 5. Alexia Sotomayor of St. Andrews in 6. Audrey Darvo, the 13-year-old from Jersey Wahoos, in 7. Florencia Perotti of Argentina in 8. And Daisy Platz of Auburn University in lane 9. 50 meters down, Platz with the lead, 31.05. Peleas with a 31.50. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a disqualification to report in event 19, heat 1, lane 3, resubmerging during the swim. Platz 105.22 at the front 100, about a second of a lead over Peleas, the 16-year-old in lane 3. And then Peleas now taking the lead, 140.55 at the 150. The 13-year-old Audrey Darvo making some moves there as well. She cracked the top 50 national age group rankings a day ago in the 50 bag. Peleas having a great swim, building towards the finish here. And Peleas will win the heat at a 2:15.29, 2:16.03 for Platz, and a 2:16.23 for Darvo. That 2:16.23 for Darvo, good to move her up into the top 100 performers all time in national age group history. A quick update, there is a disqualification to report in event 19 in this heat, heat 3, lane 9, for a 15-meter violation at the start. Heat 4. Fourth and final heat of the women's 200 backstroke. Elena Deinhardt of the South Florida Aquatic Club in 0. McKenna DeBever of Aggie Swim Club in 1. Cayman Neal of Swim Mac in 2. Julia Podkachelny of Pinecrest Swimming in 3. Reagan Smith, the world record holder, in lane 4 from Sun Devil Swimming. Sandpiper of Nevada's Katie Grimes and Bella Sims in lanes 5 and 6. Molly Donlin of Swim Mac in 7. Maeve Ackerman of Sarasota Sharks in 8. And Lila Higo of Bold School Sharks in lane number 9. Reagan out at a 30.09, leading the way by a second over Bella Sims, 31.1. Sims seated with a 2:13. Meneses Kovacs 2:15.17 from heat number 2, the top seed still. Erica Peleas only a tenth of a second back from that, sitting in second overall. Reagan out at a 103.60. Bella Sims 104.95. Final turn, Smith still in the lead. Grimes now in second. Top time in the world so far this year, 2:08.97 from Canada's Kylie Moss. Smith will be right around the 2:10 to 2:11 range, it looks like. She's going to be at 2:10.79. Good for second fastest in the world so far this year, but the fastest in our field this morning. Second place unofficially, Katie Grimes, 2:13.47. And then 2:15.82 came in Neal of Swim Mac, finishes in third. Results made official now, as there is a disqualification to report in event 19, heat 4, lane 7, for a delay in initiating the turn. Now that that's all sealed, let's take a look at the A finals. Smith atop the leaderboard. Grimes, Meneses, Kovacs, Playas, Smolika, Neal, Sims, and Derivo all in 2:16.23 to make it back there. DeBever, Podkachelny, Isleta, Wilhelm, Dobson, Santian, Marino, and Major into your B final. And then let's take a look at the C final. Sotomayor, Peterson, Penny, Crooks, Higo, Eckerman, Nesty, and Deinhardt. That is your C finalists. First and second alternates on the scoreboard at this time. Ladies, current time 10:40. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. Event 19 taken care of. On to event 20, the men's 200-meter backstroke. We got 3 heats this morning. Heat 1. He1 in the men's 200 backstroke. Army West Point sack length in lane 0. Ambrose Barsak, of St. Andrews Aquatics in 1. Baylor Stanton, Gwinnett Aquatics in 2. Aiden Norman of Canada in 3. Caleb Malzari of Swim Mackey in 4. Jay Litherland of Sun Devil Swimming in 5. Johnny Marshall of Firestone Akron in 6. Taylor Eaton, Florida Atlantic in 7. And Alex Ayers of Swim Mac in lane 8. Johnny Marshall leads the way, 27.87 for him, 28.48. Aiden Norman sitting in second. .100 meters down, Marshall in the lead, 58.96. Baylor Stanton moving up, 59.97 on the front 100. Final turn, Marshall continues to lead, but jumping up there, Jay Litherland, who's now only 1/10 of a second back. of Marshall's lead. Third is Aiden Norman, the Canadian 16-year-old, in lane 3. Jay Litherland doing Jay Litherland things. A very smooth finish to touch first at a 2:02.05. 2:03.41 for Marshall in third. Aiden Norman making the pass to go a 2:03.01. There's a disqualification to report in event 20, heat 1, lane 6 for delayed initiating the turn. Heat 2.
Take your marks.
Joey Kling of Army West Point is in lane 0. Ryan Patterson of George Washington Aquatics in 2. Metro Atlanta Aquatic Club's Chris Thames in 3. João Costa of Portugal in 4. Chase Kalish of Sun Devil Swimming in 5. Caden Edwards of Great Britain in 6. Eli Rowland of Rocket Swimming in 7. And Landon Kaiser of the Bull School Sharks in lane 8. Thames led at the 50-meter mark, 27.95. Looks like Costa has made the pass, 27.98 at the 50, 30.7 coming back, 58.7 on the front 100 meters. 59.35 for Thames in second. Ryan Patterson of George Washington Aquatics is a 1:00.05 on the first 100 meters. Final turn. Costa continues to lead the way. Thames continues to be just behind, about a second now. Chase Kalish moving up into third. Trying to build into this 200 backstroke. Joey Kling in lane 0 also in the mix. But it's going to be all João Costa leading the way, start to finish and touching. Actually, we'll get his time in just a moment. There it is, 2:02.53 as Kalish finds a way to get his hand on the wall second. 2:03.27. Thames in third with a 2:03.51. Costa second overall with one heat remaining in the men's 200 backstroke. Kalish sitting in fourth overall, so we'll keep an eye. Where does that stack up heading into tonight's finals? Thames in fifth with that 2:03.51. Heat 3.
Take your marks.
Kellen Russell, Tag Titans, kicks us off in lane 0 here in our third and final heat. Ulises Saravia of Argentina in 1. Luis Corville 14 of Canada in 2. Amadeus Knops in 3 from the Sarasota Sharks. Ryan Murphy of California Aquatics in lane 4. Yasiel Morales of Puerto Rico in 5. Zach Speakman of Wales in 6. Jensen Nelson of Spartan Aquatic Club in 7. And Ricardo Roche of South Florida Aquatic Club in lane 8. It's Ryan Murphy, to no one's surprise, leading the way. 28:01 on that first 50. 28:60, Yasiel Morales in second. Murphy has the second fastest time in the world so far this year from his Knoxville Tier Pro win. A 1:57.62 for Murphy, out in a 58.95. Tends to be very conservative in the prelims, does what is needed in order to make it back for a second swim. We'll see if that's the case this morning. Morales a 59.37. Morales seated with a 1:59.38. Amadeus Knops 1:00.05. Third at the 100-meter mark. Don't get to say this every day. Jay Litherland sits atop your leaderboard with a 2:02.05 in the 200 backstroke. We'll see how that holds up as Murphy continues to lead. The lead's actually shrunk down to a 1/10 of a second as Morales splits a 31.4 to Murphy's 31.7. Murphy looking like he's very much in cruise control, even with lane centering assist on. Into the final wall these gentlemen go, and Murphy will touch it at 2:01.54, top time of the morning. 2:02.26 for Yasiel Morales puts him in third, and then a 2:03.39 for Amadeus Knops, touching in third here in our final heat. And that'll stack him into 7th, making it into the A final. Well, let's take a look at the A final here in the men's 200-meter backstroke. Ryan Murphy atop your leaderboard. Joining him, Litherland, Morales, Noguera Costa, Norman Kalish, Knopp, and Thames. Not your everyday 200 backstroke A final, but it'll be an interesting one to watch this evening. On to the B final we go. Dari, Kling, Stanton, Corville, Fortin, Kaiser, Patterson, Speakman, and Lyth all making it back for a second swim in the B final. And then C finalists Mark Sick, Nelson, Roland, Edwards, Russell, Eaton, Roche, and Ayers into the C final. Current time, gentlemen, is 10:51. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. Need a coaching representative from Azura Florida Aquatics over to the resolution desk, please. Azura Florida Aquatics. Our next event of the morning, event number 21, women's 400-meter individual medley. 3 heats on deck this morning. Heat 1. He won of the women's 400 individual medley. Riley Trout of Florida Atlantic Aquatics in 0. Riley Bonding of Pinecrest Swimming in 1. Samantha Bonos of Gaucho Aquatics in 2. Claire Weinstein of Sandpipers in 3. Riley Leash of the Sarasota Sharks in 4. Lucy Warning of Sandpipers of Nevada in 5. Portia Del Rio Brown of Puerto Rico in 6. Olivia Deinhardt of South Florida Aquatic Club in 7. Mackie Hodges, Sandpipers of Nevada in 8. And Gwen Chavez of Gator Swim Club is in lane 9. Riley Leach leading after 50 meters of breaststroke, making the pass on Claire Weinstein. Portia Del Rio Brown in lane 6, sitting in third, but about 3 seconds back from the lead of Riley Leach. However, Del Rio Brown's 41.8, one of the faster in the field. Final 100 meters here. Leach in the lead. Del Rio Brown in second. Weinstein in third. Weinstein, a very strong freestyler. We'll see if that pays off on the final 100 meters. And that is indeed the case for Weinstein. 32.41 on that first 50 to Leach's 34.98 and Del Rio Brown's 34.26. And Weinstein leverages that strong freestyle acumen to win heat number 1 and post our first stop at a 4:53.08. 4:56.49, just getting her hand on the wall ahead is Riley Leach. Portia Del Rio Brown in third at a 4:56.58. There are 2 disqualifications actually to report in event 21, heat 1. Lane 5 disqualified for a false start, and lane 2 disqualified for a delay in initiating the turn on the backstroke leg. Heat 2. Heat 2, women's 400-meter individual medley. Hayden Penny, Weisbart Aquatic Swim Club in 0. Gracie Wyan of the Sarasota Sharks in 1. Kristen Romano of Puerto Rico in 2. Bailey Anderson of Canada in 3. Tess Chaplua of Tennessee Aquatics in 4. Kim Emily Herkel of Cardinal Aquatics in 5. Avery Clamforth of Swim Mac in 6. Bailey O'Regan of the Sarasota Sharks in 7. Agostina Hen of Argentina in 8. And Ivy Monk of Swim Mac in lane 9. Chaplua with the lead, 30.09 on the first 50. Slight edge over Agostina in 8 and Anderson in lane 3. But it's Anderson who moves into second with a 105.9 on the first 100. 104.4 for Chaplua, leading by over a second and a half here in heat 2. The women's 400 individual medley. Chaplua building on that lead, 37.5 on the first 50 of the backstroke leg, 38.0 for Anderson. She's about 2 seconds back. 37.9 Avery Clamforth. In lane 6, moving from 5th to 3rd. Kim Emily Herkel of Cardinal Aquatics in lane 5, also in the mix. Anderson closing the gap on the second 50 of the backstroke leg. Chaplua still in the lead, but the lead's down to 0.6 of a second as Anderson goes a 36.0 on the second 50 of the backstroke leg. To breaststroke we go. Chaplua still leads, but it's only 0.3 of a second now. 40.1 to 40.5. Anderson outsplitting Chaplua. Kim Emily Herkel moving into 3rd at 38.4. And should she hold that form, she will track down our 2 leaders by the end of this breaststroke leg. It looks like Anderson has moved into the lead as we head to the freestyle leg here. Final stroke swap. Anderson, Chaplua, Herkel, 1, 2, and 3. Anderson 39.7 on that second 50. Anderson 33.3 on the first 50, half a second over Chaplua, who is right on her now right hip as we head back for the final touch here in heat number 2. 4:53.08, Claire Weinstein's top time from the first heat. We'll see that get eclipsed, but we won't see it knocked down too far. A solid little race forming here in the final 5 meters. But it'll be Anderson's 4:45.52, 0.3 of a second ahead of Chaplua's 4:45.80. They'll be 1, 2, and Herkel will actually be 3rd, 4:51.21. With 1 heat remaining, Weinstein now in 4th overall. Bailey Anderson, your top seed with 1 heat still to go in the women's 400 individual medley. Heat 3. Final women's race of the morning, the 400 IM Heat 3. Applejean Gwynn of Sandpipers of Nevada in 0. Sophia Plaza of Swim Mac in 1. Michaela Mattis of Sarasota Sharks in 2. Katie Ledecky of Gator Swim Club is in lane 4. Ella Jansen of Canada in lane 5. Tennessee Aquatics Alexis Yeager in 6. Florencia Parodi of Argentina in 7. Ana Carolina Montero of Portugal in 8, and Audrey Darava of the Jersey Wahoos, the 13-year-old, in lane number 9. Jansen leads the way, the Canadian, out at a 29.53 to Ledecky's 29.82 on the first 50 of the butterfly leg. Jansen will lead it, 102.96 to Ledecky's 103.79. Montero of Portugal in lane 8 is in third with a 105.75 after the butterfly leg. Ledecky slightly outsplitting Jansen, but still in second. Ledecky was a 36.4, Jansen a 36.9. A 37.9 for Michaela Mattis, who's moved up into third place in lane 2. And Ledecky showing some backstroke chops as she takes over the lead here, heading into the halfway point, and onto the breaststroke leg we go. Ledecky a 35.1 on the second 50. Jansen a 36.3. Mattis still in third, but only by 0.3 of a second, as she's a 36.8 on that second 50 of the backstroke leg. Audrey Darvaux, the 13-year-old in lane number 9, back in a 36.5 to be in fourth right now. Need coaching representatives from Army West Point and Auburn University over to the resolutions desk, please. Army West Point and Auburn University to the resolutions desk. Thank you. To freestyle we go. A little bit more of a familiar territory for Ledecky than breaststroke, but she's got a almost 5-second lead over Ella Jansen. You have to imagine that one of the best freestylers in the history of the sport will be able to put even more distance between herself and the rest of the field. Sophia Plaza moving up into the top 3 as she splits a 41.4 and a 40.9 in the 100 breaststroke leg. Yeager in fourth, jumping from 6th to 4th, actually 8th to 4th rather, on the breaststroke leg. Ledecky's lead now up to 7 seconds as she splits a 31.8 on that first 50 meters of the breaststroke. Ledecky coming in to post our top time so far at a 4:39.97. Actually, that is our top time, rather. 4:39.97. Also makes her the 3rd fastest performer in the world. Actually, she is already the 2nd fastest performer in the world. So we'll throw all of that out until tonight's 8th final. 4:49.21 for Ella Jansen, finishing in 2nd. And then Michaela Mattis making some moves on the final 100 meters to jump into 3rd with a 4:52.14. All results unofficial until you see that scoreboard swap over. There you go. You see the results now ratified on the scoreboard. For our third and final heat, Ledecky will be our top seed, 439.97. Who is joining her in the A final? There we go. A final now on the board. Ledecky, Anderson, Chapua, Jensen, Herkel, Mattis, Plaza, and Weinstein all into your A final. Yeager, O'Regan, Clamforth, Leach, Del Rio, Brown, Daravo, Hain, and Wyant into that B final. And then your C finalists, Montero, Hodges, Romano, Brody, Monk, Gwynn, Penny, and Chavos into the C finals. First and second alternates on the board as well. Current time, ladies, is 11:11. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions. That sets us up for the last event of the morning. Event number 22, the men's 400-meter individual medley. We have 3 heats this morning. Heat 1.
Take your mark.
Zachary Jones of the Bull School Sharks in lane number 1. Nolan Danis of Villanova in 2. Xavier Ruiz of Ridgefield Aquatic Club in 3. Henry Halloran of Villanova in 4. Justin Nowicki of Victor Swim Club in 5. And Kyle Valdez out of Arizona in lane 7. Xavier Ruiz looks like he has a handle on things as we wrap up our first heat. Going to hold off a late charge, but he's going to post a 4:33.94. Kyle Valdez at a 4:34.26 finishes in second. Still looking for a coaching representative from Army West Point to the resolutions desk, please. There's a disqualification to report in event 22, heat 1, lane 7, not on backstroke. Heat 2. Heat 2 in the water. Team Charlotte's Mohammed Higazi in 0. Baylor Stanton of Gwinnett Aquatics in 1. Ilya Karun of Sandpipers of Nevada in 2. Mark Zoranek of Gator Swim Club in 3. Charlie Swanson, Nova Virginia in 4. Lauren Wigginton of Canada in lane 5. Hector Cruz of Texas A&M in 6. Michael Brenniger of the swim team in 7. Clayton Bernauer of Army West Point in 8. And Aiden Sires of Sarasota Sharks in lane 9. It's Cameroon, the butterfly specialist, to no one's shock, out of the early lead, 26.95. Charlie Swanson, 26.99 on the first 50. It looks like Swanson may have taken the lead back. Could also be Lauren Wigginton of Canada in lane 5. That is the case. 58.33 for Wigginton to Swanson's 58.63, 58.77 for Karin in lane 2. Wigginton still in the lead, but it's Hector Cruz now in second after he splits a 35.4. Wigginton out in a 34.6 on the backstroke leg. Michael Brenniger in lane 7 was out in a 34.3, and he's coming back pretty quick. 33.2, 33.5 for Brenniger, who's now in second, but just under 2 seconds behind Wigginton's lead. Third is Cruz. Fourth is Baylor Stanton, the 15-year-old of Gwinnett Aquatics, all the way over in lane number 1, who's only 3 seconds back. There is a disqualification to report. This is in the current race. Event 22, heat 2, lane 7. There was a false start. Wigginton still in the lead, 36.9 on that first 50. Charlie Swanson jumped from 8th to 6th, or 2nd, rather, jumping 6 spots on the first 50 breaststroke leg. But Wigginton putting together a solid 400 prelim 37.0 on his second 50, outsplitting Swanson on the second 50 by 0.8. And he has just shy of a 4-second lead. Bernauer in lane 8 with a 38.9 has a hold on third in this heat. Xavier Ruiz with a 4:33.94, your top time from the first heat. It won't be the top time much longer, but we'll see how it stacks up against our final two heats here. Swanson still in second, Bernauer still in third, and Wigginton in the lead. Lauren Wigginton putting together a great 400 IM in the prelims. He's going to touch at a 4:20.68. Good for 10th fastest in the world so far this year as he takes over the top spot this morning. 4:27.56. Charlie Swanson second in the heat and second overall. And then that'll take us to our final heat. So as we approach our final race of the morning, a quick reminder that you'll want to be back this evening, not just for the great racing, which we know you're already planning to come back to see that, but Bobby Fink and Kieran Smith will be signing autographs upstairs next to the retail tent right after the finals, after A and B finals. So make sure that you are around to meet, greet, and get some signatures. Heat 3.
Great go, Mark.
Third and final heat, men's 400 individual medley. In fact, our final race of the morning, pending any potential swim-offs or and then time trials coming later today. Nick Schaefer of Florida Atlantic in lane 0. Casey Etten of Sarasota Sharks in 1. Nathan Holtby of Ohio State University in 2. William Riley of Wales in 3. Bobby Fink of St. Petersburg Aquatics in lane 4. Sean Grisham of California Aquatics in 5. Grant Sanders of Tampa Bay Aquatics in 6. And then a duo of Swim Mac teammates, Freddie Klein and Ben Delmar in lanes 7 and 8. Nathan Holtby from The Ohio State University leads the way. 27.65 on the first 50. 27.80 Grant Sanders in second. Bobby Fink moving up into second. Holtby still in the lead, 59.2 to Fink's 59.3. And Fink taking the lead, 32.7 on that first 50 of the backstroke leg. Sean Grisham jumping up from fourth to second, 34.1 for his backstroke first 50. And then William Riley at 34.1. He's jumped from sixth to third. But everybody's looking up at Bobby Fink. Fink touching and heading to the breaststroke leg now. 32.2 on the second 50, so some consistency there. 33.2 for Riley and a 33.2 for Grisham. To the back half of this Heat 3 400 individual medley we go. Halfway through the breaststroke leg, a 37.6 for Fink, a 38.2 for Grisham, and a 39.0 for Riley. Keeps the three of them in the lead, but a pretty impressive 36.5 from Nathan Holtby, the Buckeye, in lane number 2, moving him from 6th to 4th and closing the gap on the rest of the field. Well, you got to imagine that Bobby Fink, the Olympic gold medalist in the 800 and the 1500, probably won't give much back on the freestyle leg. Similar to his teammate Katie Ledecky in the 400 IM earlier this afternoon, as she went into the freestyle leg in the lead and then built upon it. Nathan Holtby leveraged that breaststroke leg, 36.5, 37.2 to go 113.7 on the breaststroke and move from 6th to 3rd. He'll be trying to hold off William Riley. Fink out in a 31.1 on the first half of his freestyle. Grisham a 31.4 and Holtby a 31.6. Top times a 4:20.68. That time from Wigginton of Canada is likely safe, as Fink will touch at a 4:21.71, splitting a 29.6 on that final 50. 4:25.89 for Grisham in second, and then a 4:27.35 for Nathan Holtby finishing in third. Fink will be your second seed, and Grisham will end up is the third seed. Both of them obviously in the A final. Who's joining them in the A final this evening? Well, let's take a look. Wigginton, your top seed. Fink, Grisham, Holtby, Swanson, Caroon, Sanders, and O'Reilly all in that A final of the men's 400 IM. B finalists: Stanton, Bernauer, Ruvalcamba Cruz, Klein, Delmar, Etten, Schaefer, and Ruiz into the B final. Took a 4:33.94 to make it in on that side. And then C finalists: Zoranek, Sears, Halloran, Casey, Nowicki, Jones, and Danis into the C. That wraps up the 400 individual medley. Coaches and swimmers, time trials will begin promptly at 12 o'clock noon, 12 o'clock for time trials. Just a heads up to those of you hanging with us in the stands, we do have a swim off planned. Details still to come. This is a men's 50 breaststroke swim off. Mark Anthony Thompson in lane 4, Eric Veit in lane 5. These gentlemen tied at a 29.59 this morning. And Thompson will take it out at 29.15, both going faster than their prelim swims. All right, these are two swim-offs, both for the women's 50 butterfly. Lily Archibald of Richfield Aquatic Club in lane 2, and Ana Montero of Portugal tied with a spot in the C final on the line. Harriet Jones of Wales and Kylie Wilhelm of Lifetime North Carolina in lanes 5 and 6 tied with a spot in the A final on the line. Jones will win for the right to the A final. And then Archibald will win the right to the C final with a 28.46. That wraps up all the swim-offs for this morning. Once again, time trials will begin at 12 o'clock noon.